What's up, guys? It's Satiated Games, and today we have a Call of Duty Modern Warfare beginner tips video. These tips are going to be good for anyone who just got the game starting out. If you're like new to Call of Duty or new to first-person shooters in general, this will help you out with getting more kills, less deaths, and enjoying the game a little bit more. So let's just get into it. All right, so our first tip is going to be in your settings. In your settings, you want to change your button layout to tactical flip. This is going to allow you to use your right stick to go prone and to crouch. This is going to be a lot faster than using circle to do so. This is going to allow you to perform drop shots a lot easier, and you'll get a lot more kills and a lot less deaths by having your button layout this way. It also allows you to use L1 and R1 to aim down sights and shoot versus using L2 and R2. L2 and R2 is a bigger button, so it's a longer press. So if you're using L1 and R1, you have a shorter press on your buttons, which makes it so that way you're going to aim down sight faster and you're going to release bullets out of the gun faster. This is going to give you a significant advantage against other players who may be using a traditional L2, R2 to shoot and to aim. Okay, so our next tip is a bit of a loadout tip. This tip is pretty much run rocket launcher. I know a lot of people like to run overkill. They like to have two primary weapons. You know, it can get you out of a tough jam. If you run out of ammo, you can easily switch to your secondary weapon, which is another primary if you have overkill. But I suggest using a rocket launcher. If you use a rocket launcher, you can easily hinder the other team. Someone calls in a UAV, you got your rocket launcher, you can blow it right out of the sky. UAV is gone. They can't see where you are. They can't see where your teammates are. And you may have just saved the team 5 or so kills because now the enemy team can't see where you are. It's a big advantage to have someone on your team with a rocket launcher. And if you're that person, your teammates will secretly love you for it. Every time there's a UAV out, and if I don't have a rocket launcher and someone, shoots it out the sky, I don't have any more ammo in my rocket launcher, I'm like, oh, great. So try running rocket launcher and see how it helps. All right, so this next tip is very important. Pre-aiming. You need to pre-aim in this game. In all the Call of Duties, you could kind of get away with it. But, truthfully, in most shooters, you should be pre-aiming. And pretty much every shooter that I play, whether it's Call of Duty, Battlefield, Destiny, it doesn't matter. Any first-person shooter, you should be pre-aiming. Especially in this Call of Duty, there are a lot of doors and windows and corners in this game. So you need to have your gun up and ready when you're turning a corner. Don't turn the corner and wait for you to see an enemy to have your gun up. Just take a second. You can, you're sprinting to the corner, and once you get there, before you turn it, stop, pull your gun up, and pre-aim at an area that you are expecting the enemy to be. So this can get, you're going to get better at this the more you do it. You're going to get better at it the more you play the same type of maps, because you are going to know, oh, when I turn this corner, there's a window in the upper left section. So you're going to know that when you turn this corner, you want to maybe aim straight ahead where, there's like a lane, some sort of runway for someone to run down. But you also know that there's also a window at the top left there. So you automatically are going to aim there too. And 9 times out of 10, oftentimes when you hit those corners and you pre-aim at the spots that you think people are going to be at, people are there. If you watch your death and you watch your kill cams, often the better players, this is how they are getting you. They know that you're hiding in that window or whatnot. They have their aim trained on you while they're turning that corner, so that way if you are indeed there, they have a chance to shoot you before you can shoot them. You need to be doing this with windows, doors, steps, passageways, vents, all type of things. just pre-aim. Take a second to do it. Again, this is a slower Call of Duty. You don't want to rush. There are plenty of places for people to shoot you from, and make sure you do your best to be prepared for someone to be in that spot. Okay, if you die because someone is constantly hiding in a window or something like that, it's not their fault. It's your fault because you are not prepared for that person to be there. All right, and the next tip is do not rush. I myself am a notorious rusher in old Call of Duties. I like to run in, get in all the action quickly. Don't do that in this Call of Duty. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the majority of the maps are not made for you to be rushing around. There are too many doors, too many windows, too many buildings with windows and doors, where if you just run around blindly, chances are you're probably going to get killed by somebody in one of those windows, around one of those corners, hiding in one of those doors. Okay, so just don't do it. Take your time. Stay away from the middle of the map. Stay more towards like the edge of most of the maps, and just take your time. Don't just blindly, rush into the action. So this kind of goes into camping as well. I'm not saying camp. I'm saying hold positions and don't just, like I said, rush out. If you have a building, if you're in a building, secure that building, secure the entrances to that building, and pick a window or a door or something and stay there for a second. Especially if you know that enemies are around, stay there for a second. All right. Give them some time to come to you. Okay. So this is like kind of a lot of tips in one, but these tips right here all go within one another. Holding a position, waiting for the enemy to come to you, not rushing. Okay. And once you, get bored of that position, or you realize, okay, it's not a lot of activity here, make your way to the next spot. All right. Another tip that we have is footsteps. Footsteps in Call of Duty Modern Warfare is huge. Before I got the game, I heard a lot about the footsteps and how, it was giving off people's locations and everything like that. And I was just wondering, wow, I never could imagine footsteps being that impactful. I can tell you it is very impactful, and you need to pay attention to footsteps. I myself has been a culprit of not listening to footsteps. Okay. You can easily hear someone around. You can hear the footsteps around. Look at your mini map and see, wait a minute, there are no teammates around me. That means there is an enemy somewhere near you. Okay. And if you do hear footsteps, you don't want to make the mistake of yourself making a bunch of noise. So don't start sprinting around, crouch and walk and try to find out where they are.
That's going to be all the tips that we have for today. If you have any tips you want to share, you can drop them in the comment section. If you like this video or find it helpful, you can give us a like. And if you're new, subscribe.